Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Business and Investments in Ukraine, brought to you by Andesite Blue. I'm Mike Wilson, and I want to thank Toloka Studios for producing and this production and offering a platform for me to speak. So, there's so much going on all the time, and as I've been mentioning and talking about business, I've been talking about, the growth, the economy in Ukraine, the things that are going to be changing here real quick and even changing right now, as far as investments, as far as businesses, even new businesses are opening up, new restaurants, new clubs, IT is booming. There's just a lot. We have some manufacturing companies that are coming in. We're excited about that. We're going to be doing the pre-manufactured homes. There's just so much going on right now, and we're excited about it. So I'd like to take the time and share with you. We're going to have a little bit of different platform. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurs and new startups, the advantages and disadvantages of them. And also how we can try to ensure the success of new startups so that they can be prosperous and have a good story. It is a risk. It's sometimes scary. There's a lot of people that are afraid. They have these ideas. They want to do something, and they're afraid to really step out and get started. So hopefully we can address that and kind of answer some questions that you might have. I have a special guest this evening, Bogdan Triboy, and I'm excited. I met him last month, and ever since then, we have so much in common. It's actually it's funny. We're the same height. We're nearly the same weight. We're not the same age, though. He does have me on that one. He's much younger than I am. Very good looking. He's a handsome man of Ukraine. But let me introduce you to Bogdan. So Bogdan, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, kind of what you do a little bit. Just give us a little idea of what's going on.
Hi everyone. I was born and lived in Kyiv for all my life. My family from Kyiv, and I was born in an artistic family, like musicians.
Not autistic, but artistic.
Artistic,
yes.
yeah, artistic. My mother is a musician, my aunt is a musician, my father was an ice skater, he was in a ballet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So during the Soviet Union, he went to all of the countries, including the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably where I've got my love to your country because of him.
Yeah.
So I had no other chance to become either a sportsman or a musician. or entertainment person. So I choose the entertainment, and for last more than 20 years, I was working as an event planner, event host, actor, TV host, TV expert. So it's all about TV, and it's all about putting people's mood up.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, that's what artists do.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it for the love.
Yeah.
Or in their own heart, but there's the reward of it is making other people smile.
Oh, that's pretty much all my life about.
Yeah, and it pays itself. Artists don't make a lot of money unless you really hit it big. But we don't, yes, we kind of want to, get into that streamline and make wealth from it if we can. But there's so few people in reality. When you have millions and millions of artists around the world, we only have the top 50 or the top 100 on the charts that are actually superstars, So the percentages are so low to that. But we don't do it for that in reality.
I never thought about percentage. Yeah.
We just love performing as a coordinator and a planner for events and things. I actually had Luba on our show. She's also a coordinator in a little bit different aspect. She brings businesses together for construction and development and stuff, So, but she's also single. Very, very beautiful woman. So I'll have to introduce you sometime.
That's what you do on your show.
Yes, I'm a match.
That kind of investments. Okay.
Yes. I invest in people, relationships. No, that's just a little side note. Okay. But anyway, you'll have an opportunity. She actually just recently joined up with Gusev's Friends Club. Mm-hmm. And she'll be coming, I believe, on the 18th and the next party that we have. So I really appreciate those parties. Actually, I met you through Gusev's Friends Club. Oleg is absolutely fantastic. His heart like this, huge heart. You know, very giving man. Beautiful wife Sveta, and they are just kind, wonderful people, and just enjoy being around him. And you know, he and I have kind of the same spirit. You know, we love to put people together. We love to put things, businesses.
And see how it works.
Yeah, and and then it's just kind of a networking. But there's just a lot of safety and a lot of security when you have a large group of people that have a common, understanding of relationships and friendships, but business as well. And it's like, hey, Oleg, I need a lawyer. Oh, I have 20 of them here.
You don't feel alone. You don't feel alone for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. And so that was nice. And that's how I met you. And then we talked a little bit and a little bit more. And then I said, oh my goodness,
and then we couldn't stop talking.
And just even our lunches, pretty funny. But the nice thing about it is that I had a chance to learn a little bit about who you are, what you do, how your plan. You have your coordinating events, how you plan them, your skills sets in that in the entertainment world. And so of course we talked about my project that I'm starting, which is the country western saloon here in Kyiv. And it'll be the only of its kind in Ukraine. Now there have been other Coyote Ugly. There have been other Western.
It's more about girls than the culture.
Yeah, it was a nightclub.
Yeah.
It was not
different purpose.
Different completely. This is actual culture. This is actual, and something I'm putting together that's going to be tie in. There's going to be music, it's going to, dance, it's going to restaurant, so it's going to have the atmosphere, the decorations, we'll have a jackalope in there, and maybe, a buffalo or two, something in there just to give you that real country western style and feel, and also have the interior store inside so that you'll have your clothing store, tire store, so you'll have your hats, your boots, your jeans, all of the apparel.
Original ones.
They'll be the original.
From United States.
Well, they'll be the originals. And we'll have some from Italy too, because it makes, and Spain. Spain makes some very nice wear, cowboy wear and stuff. So it'll be international. But basically the idea is that it is a country western. And don't forget, Clint Eastwood got his break in the spaghetti westerns, which is out of Spain. So Spain is in love with the West.
Okay. So we're open for Spanish tourists in Ukraine right after the war.
Yes.
Or maybe even
before.
During,
So let's talk about some of the things that you've been involved with. Our conversation we had at lunch the other day, you kind of opened my eyes to a little bit more about you. And some of the companies you've worked for, and some of the ones that you kind of was involved with.
I tried, as a person who likes to try new stuff and to get more skills and see the world more widely.
Yes.
So before 30 years, I've tried different businesses, different, and actually, surprisingly, again with you, we have so many stuff. My first job was a waiter in a cowboy restaurant, one and only in Ukraine and in Kyiv.
It was in Kyiv.
When I was 17.
Was it in Podil? Where was it?
It was right in the center, in Passage.
Okay.
So it's just the most expensive street.
Yes.
And that was like two restaurants. The most expensive restaurants one was French, I think. Another was Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Yeah, and during that time, people just was taking everything from West, and it was interesting. And especially cowboy stuff is always, Western.
It's always attractive. It's very sexy. It's very masculine and feminine.
Yeah. Plus the bands, the atmosphere, the food, everything was new.
Yes.
For that period of time. So that was my start. I started fast, and I went deep. Let's put it this way. And I had like two businesses. One is acting, hosting, and arranging events. Plus to that, I was working in restaurants from the waiter to the director of the nightclub, to the art director of the restaurant in Odessa. So that was also interesting for me because to give people good moods and put it up, you need to have a good space and right atmosphere for that. So I like to create that also. And that's why I've got some experience in that. And that's why what you told me, your idea, for me, it's nothing new. As for manager, let's put it this way. I see the things, I see what you need, I see what we can do. So something like that.
So, you bring up a very good point. Entrepreneur and entrepreneurship doesn't necessarily mean own your own business. Now, technically, you do and do that, but you can also create. You said you're an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, actors are entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Actors have to sell themselves to get the role.
Yep.
They're not guaranteed parts and roles.
Yeah.
And also same in business. Okay, you want to create something about yourself. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have an idea, you have a concept, there's a need, and you want to be the best that you can be in that so that you have the highest demand.
Yep.
Once you have the highest demand, guess what? You're an entrepreneur. And now you can basically cut your own paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Because the better you are, the higher the demand you are, then people are going to be bidding for your business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you might go under contract with them, but it still doesn't mean you're not an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
There's risk involved with that because you're not on a safe job. You're not working for a big corporate company that you get a paycheck, you work your 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week, and you know that this X amount of dollars you're going to make, but you can never grow from that because it's the X amount of dollars. This doesn't seem to ever be enough.
And that's what makes life interesting, much more interesting. That risk.
The risk as an entrepreneur, right.
Because
Because now you can adjust that. Now some days you're poor because you're not working, right?
Yes.
Some days, though, you're what we call making hay, or you're just everything's coming in. The windfall is coming in, and you're making a lot of money, and life is pleasant.
Like a heart beating.
Exactly. That's
Up,
exactly
down,
right.
Up, down.
Yeah, and so that's the risk of entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Now, startups, like this is a startup we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about. Startups also have its levels of risks involved with it as well. Matter of fact, there's a lot of investors enjoy investing in startups. Now, they don't put all their money into it. They know that they have, okay, this is amount of money here. This money I'm putting into higher risk ventures.
Mm-hmm.
Well, startups, some guys just focus on startups. One, because they have a business sense. They understand the concepts and the principles necessary to get a business started, and they also understand how to get the business continuing to go. That way they protect their investment. So they're not just throwing money at any company. They personally want to get involved in that company to ensure its success because it's their money that's at risk.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they understand that the risks are higher. But the rewards on a higher risk are also much greater, right? So anytime you start down here, there's only one way to go. Well, two ways, this way or this way, right?
Yeah.
And but this way goes up very fast. And after 5 years, it starts to kind of round off a little bit, so it doesn't have that same gap. We can look at Bitcoin, for example. Bitcoin, I met a friend. She was young. She was a college student, and she was told by her uncle, say, "Hey, you need to be getting into Bitcoin." And so she did. She trusted him, and she borrowed $40,000, bought Bitcoin at $240 a coin. When I met her, it was at $16,000, and this was several years ago. It's gone through, and I said, "Oh, you're going to sell it?" I mean, 240,
Not like
16,000.
that guy, the pizza guy, who paid like 10,000 bitcoins for pizza.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
The most expensive one.
Yeah, no,
in history.
But yeah, so she was a multi-millionaire as a student. She was still a student when that went to 16,000. She was at her last year, graduation year, as a student, and she was working, and she said, "Oh, I'm just doing it for fun. I don't have anything else to do. I'm just working." It's kind of like Forrest Gump. But anyway, that's startup. So that's happened. So there's a lot of risk because there's a lot of other cryptocurrencies that didn't. They all failed.
Most of them.
Right, and so they didn't have that Bitcoin success. But there's other ones that are a little bit more stable and stuff. Well, the businesses, you have to look at that way as well when you're looking at startups. And Ukraine. One thing about Ukrainians is they're very innovative in their thoughts and their minds. They're very talented. They're very, very educated. And it's a very high percentage. They just go from regular school to university. They just there's just no transition. It's just right into the university. And so the majority of boys and girls go from, at 17, they're in university. Some of them at 16 are in university.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of options for them, but they just go, it's like schools just continued until they get their master's, bachelor's, whatever degree they're looking for, and what they're wanting to educate
And at the
themselves
same
on.
time, they try to find a way to make money.
Right. Well, yeah.
At the same time,
it
they're not
opens-
asking for money from anyone. They're just trying to make it by their own.
They're looking
And-
for ways to do
yeah,
that.
yeah, and they create some new ideas. And I call Ukraine as a factory of beautiful, intelligent, creative people.
There you go.
Somehow this land just gives the birth
keeps
to
producing
such
it.
a people. Yes.
I think it's the soil.
I
Or maybe
think
it's
so.
the water. Maybe it's the water, you know.
I think it's air. Something in the air.
Something's
Yeah,
going
something.
on, yeah. But it's absolutely correct. That's
Yeah.
absolutely correct. I've never met, as far as, you know, in the world, in the places that I've been to, I've just never met a society of such educated people. And they thrive on that. You know, their pink certificate, they talk about their pink certificate. There's a red, I don't know, what color is it?
No, it's red.
Red certificate.
Red. Pink, it's different.
Okay, yeah. The red certificate, graduate. That would be like what do they call that? When you're the top student in the whole university of his or her graduating class. But they just really focus on that to get their education, and then then they start striving to fulfill what they learned, you know, to work. And but there's still the fear of starting your own business, you know,
Because
and
you don't know how to start. You have no one, you have no mentor, you have no one. Parents will not help you with that.
parents don't
Yeah,
have
they
the
don't know
ability.
how to do business
Yeah.
in most.
My parents, well, my
Yeah.
father, he was definitely an entrepreneur, but still, he said, you know, get a job, you know, I went in
Yeah.
the military, stuff like that, you know, and but he did not discourage endeavors and trying things, you know, because he did himself too. He had a job, he worked solid,
Different time, different
But,
eras,
yeah.
you know, it's just like,
but yeah, you're right. Parents are not your mentors when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You have to find and surround yourself with people who are successful. Even and with the project of the Country Western Saloon that I'm looking to start here in Kyiv, and hopefully, you know, we're already moving forward on
Yep.
it.
yeah.
We're looking at locations. We're raising investors, we're raising the money, and so we're looking possibly at 4 to 6 months to open our grand opening. But when an investor looks at me, what is he looking for? You know, and so as an entrepreneur, you have to think the same way. How am I going to sell my idea? Does it have solid grounds? Is it a sound project? Is it a sound idea? Is it something that can, you know, make money? Because that's all investors care about.
Pretty much you need to ask yourself all of the possible questions.
You need to go through a list. You need to ask. You have to be honest with every one of them. We can't be emotionally tied to, oh, because I love it.
Yeah.
You know, well, many people do, and then they lose out on investors because they want to hold on. You know, well, I'm willing to give 10% of my company, and then you have 90%.
You look to one of those people. I was young and I believed in that. That's now I come to the people and say, hey, this is the best idea in the world.
Right.
And they give me all the money I need.
And
It doesn't work
it
that
didn't
way.
happen, did it?
It doesn't work that way.
That's how with the school of hard knocks. That's how you get slapped around
Yeah, it's just
by
like-
the world, and you wake up real quick. Said,
Yeah.
oh, what happened? You know.
Yeah, because time is going and you just clock is ticking. You need to understand that also.
Yeah. I forgot which boxer. I don't know if it was Mike Tyson or one of the great boxers says, you always go into the boxing ring with a plan until you receive the first punch.
yeah, exactly.
That changes everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the same as business. And so we do need reality. Now, we can't surround ourselves with the negative Nellies. If we do that, then we will be defeated. I mean, because it's so difficult to break through that. Society actually sees that. In America, for example, they say the rich get richer, the poor get poorer.
Get poor, yeah.
And there's a mentality, there's a mindset that separates, and that's why the poor have a hard time really breaking out, because
They always think about.
they want to,
riches,
but they don't.
yeah.
But they're kind of lazy to do it,
Yeah.
And they don't. But they also their surroundings are negative. People, oh, you can't do that. Yeah, well, don't even try. Why would you want to do that? Everybody hates corporate America anyway. But just always this negative.
I've got that enough also.
And if you surround yourself with people like that, then you're going to have the most difficult time to actually break out and let your idea flourish. You want to surround yourself with people that said, I can, not it can't be done.
Just do it. Yeah.
That's just do it. And
Yeah.
that's, that's the Nike
And I think
that's the
this is the
Nike
best
motto.
Yeah, this
Just
is the
do it.
best.
That's also the American spirit.
Yeah.
That's why so many people flood America, because it's the American dream they know that they have an opportunity to live a life, provide for their family, and live a much better life than where they came from.
If you're ready to
Well,
work.
most people who actually
Yeah,
do that,
if they do
they've
that move,
already made that dream, and they're making
that's
that
it.
commitment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
it's our foreigners, the foreigners that come in and are refugees, and the different people who really are striving to get into America, they have that spirit. They've already gave up everything to live a dream.
I've been in the United States when I was 19, so I was going there with that mind.
That mindset,
yeah.
And America was born that way. So a lot of people don't understand that we were just a bunch of refugees that made a country.
Yeah.
We fled tyranny, and we fled oppressive countries to the New World. That's what America was called, the New World, and so that's a mindset, and so that's kind of a born spirit. If you're born in America, you have that inside of you. So that independence, that liberty, and that freedom, you have that already kind of built into your blood. So when I came to Ukraine, I saw. It's like the 49ers, and I don't mean the 49ers football team. I'm talking about the 49ers of 1849, of the gold rush. That's what I see here. There's gold nuggets all over and this city. They're laying in the streets. Just gold everywhere. Now, you're born here, you don't see them.
I need them.
As an entrepreneur, you see some of them.
Yeah.
As someone who comes from a free country, I look at all of these opportunities, and they're just everywhere. I mean, it's like your eyes are like just bugged out, and you're looking at everything. And so there's just a lot of good, sound possibilities and opportunities here in Ukraine to really grow, to bring commerce, capitalism. Capitalism is the number one source of making a nation independent and free. And it gives people opportunities to make incomes that are comfortable, or where they want it to be, whether they want to be comfortable, whether they want to be large, whether they want to be wealthy. It gives those opportunities. That's what capitalism does. And that's capitalistic opportunities are everywhere, lined on the streets of Kyiv. They're like gold lining on the streets of Kyiv. And so living here, I just fell in love with it. I just saw it instantly, and it just kept popping up. So this is one of them, the country saloon that we're looking to build. Now, I'm not doing this by myself. So just with Oleg alone, and Oleg Gusev's friends, Gooses, I like that. They have a little goose on there. They call it Goose's friends. And there's 4,400 people in his club, and so, so I've already started laying the groundwork, and allowing. I have open doors to bring in innovations and ideas, and also experience people who are in the restaurant, people who are in the entertainment industry that has a skill. So you've created in your life over the past 20 years, since you graduated from university, and you started, you started from the ground floor, and you worked your way through. That's what gives you the mindset. And you understand what it's like to be a waiter.
Yeah, because you cannot become a manager, general manager, without being a waiter.
Right, without washing dishes.
Yes,
you have to wash the dishes. You have to serve the people, and so like that. That's where real good business starts. Because now, as a manager, and as somebody who not only manages your own life but manages others, you know what that person's going through, and now you can relate to them as like a father, basically. And that's really what managers should be. They're fathers that are bringing up. They are mentoring people into the industry so that they can flourish, giving them opportunities. And that's the kind of people I look for, because that's what will cause security and growth within the company, within this organization. And so it can actually chain off. We can end up being in Odessa. We can have a branch in Lviv. We can have a branch in Kharkiv. When we rebuild Mariupol into one of the most beautiful port cities in all of Ukraine, we'll have one there in Mariupol. Dnipro and stuff. So we'll be able to branch off as the concept and everything as it grows and the idea comes, and it'll be absolutely a fantastic place for tourism as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll promote this worldwide. So I've spent years going through the concepts, and I'm not taking a new concept. I'm actually taking a very old, tried and true and tried program that's already working in the United States and in other countries. And so this is just something that we are taking the template there, and we're going to bring it here and make it. Now, Pervak, for example,
Mm-hmm.
we had lunch there with Oleg at Pervak. It's a Ukrainian restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
Ukrainian menu. You know, you have genuine Ukrainian food. You know, the dishes, but the decoration is fantastic. You look at the inside of the interior of Pervak. Every room has its own. It represents its own city.
Yeah.
You have Lviv. You have the Lviv room. You have the library. You have every room has its own. The one with that has the cart with the oxes. You know, the villages and the different parts. You know, they have Kharkiv. They have, each one, and they're just. I mean, there's not a space undecorated in that restaurant, but it gives you such a nice feeling and atmosphere, and that's what we'll be doing.
You have to feel Ukraine when you come to that place. So.
Exactly. And so when you come to the Country Western Saloon, what are you going to feel? You're going to feel New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, Colorado and Wyoming, and that era of the 1800s. You're going to feel that in the Wild West, and you're going to see all the staff is going to be decked out, dressed. The cowgirl hats, the cowboy hats, the shirts, the embroidery across the shirts, the cowboy style, and the boots and everything, from security to wait to bar to management. Every staff member, to the bus boy, to the cleaning lady, to everything that's inside there is going to have that
Even
style.
Mosquitoes.
Even the mosquitoes, they cannot enter.
No.
We'll have big wooden doors to come through. When they come into the entrance, there's going to be big wooden doors to come through. And then they're just going to enter into the world of the West. And so that was the concept. But again, I'm taking something that's already tried and true, and bringing it to Ukraine. I've really appreciated the feedback on it. So that's a startup. Does it have a foundation? What will support that idea once you get started on that? And so you have to look at the market. You have to look at the audience, who's going to be coming. Will they come? Will they get tired of it after a month? You have to look at all of these things. And so what I do is I look at other companies and other successful organizations like Żary Miasto, Pepper's Club, or even Boho as a nightclub, doing very well. Opened up a brand new branch of Bohos. I got 2 Bohos now. There's successful restaurants. Oh, Gogi, the Georgian restaurants, Gogi and Gaga, those 2 those branches. I mean, they have several. They're like packed. You have to have a reservation for tables. Same thing with Żary Miasto. Żary Miasto opened up 4 months ago, and so it's brand new, and it's a reservation only type place. You have to have. You can't just walk in unless it's off hours. But
for a long time, I didn't see that. When you cannot sit because it's all busy all day.
So I saw the hunger, for this, and Kyiv is a very good entertainment city. We have beautiful, theaters. We have
everything is beautiful.
Music.
Architecture.
But I mean entertainment-wise. The entertainment-wise, music, the bands. Dancing out on the parks. Hundreds and hundreds, maybe even 1,000 people dancing with DJ music. Sometimes live music. They're doing that. So there's a hunger for that. The culture is dance. The Ukrainian culture is dance.
Yeah,
they
that's who we are. That's who we are. We like to dance. We like to eat.
And you love to learn.
Drink.
So you love swing dance. You love bachata. You love kazumba. You love salsa. You love your folk dance. You love you love the waltz. You love ballroom. You see clubs all over, and there's dance studios everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I could walk to any dance studio around my area. They're just all over Kyiv. So so the concept supports itself.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're starting in the largest city of Ukraine. 4 million people.
It's logically.
So it
Correct,
becomes a
yeah.
logical place to cut your
Yeah.
teeth,
Yeah.
and work from there. And bring in something that actually people really do look forward to, and they really do desire.
Mm-hmm.
To wear a cowboy hat down the street and cowboy boots. There's something cool about it. And the young people love it too. It's not just a generational thing. It goes throughout. And so it's just kind of a real nice, and of course you wear it, and of course people see it and immediately think, American West.
They know.
Exactly.
They immediately know what's going on.
Right. So I'm just sharing that idea as a startup. And so any entrepreneur out there that has an idea, whether it is in the entertainment industry, whether it is some business concept, whether it is something you've developed, there's a lot of talent in the hands too. You got embroidery, you got we've got manufacturers. We actually make things in Ukraine.
Yeah, especially now.
And so you might have an idea or something that there's a need. Maybe not everybody needs it, but as long as you have an audience big enough that you can fulfill that need, then your idea can go somewhere. But don't rely on yourself.
That's my mistake.
You're right, in the beginning, right?
For many years I was making the same mistake.
And so what changed?
I got older and a little bit smarter.
Did you go through? Did you listen to any
seminars?
Did you go
No. Luckily, I was just meeting right people during my life, and good mentors and good friends. And before, my problem was not in creating a team or having somebody else in the business. My problem always was that nobody can do it as best than I do.
Which there's some truth to that.
Yeah, but when you think only this way, you just got all the possibilities.
Correct.
Yeah, the future for your idea.
Right.
I tried a couple of times to share ideas and try to create with different teams, but it didn't work well, and I had bad experience. That's why I was, let's put it this, little bit not scared, but how you say that?
We call it gun shy.
Yeah, easy going with that.
Right.
What can I do first, and then let's see who I need.
Right.
To fill the parts I cannot cover.
Correct.
So, but now of course I understand that you are without team nobody. You're nobody without team. You're
right.
nobody without team.
What would you rather have? 100% of zero, or would you rather have 1% of a billion?
If you have, I would have a little bit difference, different saying. If I have $1 more than I had yesterday, I would choose that.
The $1 more, yes. Yeah. So that's I'm willing to share, and not be so greedy on my ownership. I'm willing to share my ownership. I make sure that I hire people smarter than me in those fields and those areas that have more experience than I do. I want to create security. Not just for me, I want to create security for each person who works and who's involved with with the company, and that's how you can get started with any business. You get your ideas, and then you start surrounding yourself with people who support those ideas.
Yeah.
So that you can start cooperating and working together and let your idea grow, and not be afraid of people adding to it. You can push some of it away. Some of it doesn't make sense because they don't quite get the vision or something like that.
They put money on the first place and not the idea, which is not my way of doing business for sure. First idea and believing and loving idea.
Right.
And then money as a result of doing that.
Right. Now there's a saying that says money follows management.
Yeah.
Okay, now not just any management, good management.
Yeah.
And so that also brings in the right people. People want to invest. They want to feel secure. And if you're the only one, and they think, well, what happens to you?
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen to my money?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But if I create a network that if I disappear, or I get old and die, whatever, just if I'm not there anymore, can it carry on? And if I develop the right management team, it will carry on.
You have to develop such a management because as my friends who has their business in restaurants and everything, they say if you cannot leave your restaurant, close that business and do this again. Because you don't know how to create business and create a right management.
There's two industries that are very similar to that. There's the medical and dental industry and the restaurant industry. You're married to your practice or you're married to your restaurant. And I said, I'll never do that. I said, I'll never own a restaurant. Here I am, now 61 years old, opening a restaurant.
Ready.
but more than a restaurant, you know, it's a saloon. So there's a lot more involved in it. It's actually entertainment because I'm a musician also, and I love entertainment. I love to sing. I love to perform.
Share yourself.
I play my saxophone. I love to. Yeah, it is. It's just something about it. And but so this is more than just a restaurant. But okay, I don't have the full understanding of running a restaurant and ordering how much meat do I need, how much this, how much
it's like thousands and thousands moments in that business.
So I have to have someone with that absolute skill level and proven skill level to be able to fill that role for me. So I'm the coordinator. That's it. They're going to get rewarded. They're going to get their due. They've given their life. You've given your life to be who you are today, to create an atmosphere of entertainment and joy, and because of that, you're going to make your worth in this industry. So you've paid your dues, as we say, like Queen. I've paid my dues, time after time. So. But there's we have to, that's what builds our worth up. It's going to be difficult for a 19-year-old to be an entrepreneur and get started right off in his first business. It can happen, and some have done it.
Luckily.
Yeah, but if you really ask them, they also have backup. They have people really helping them and opening doors for them and making that opportunity available for them. They didn't
at least like first steps. And
they didn't grind it out.
Show the direction and give the tools, and that's pretty much.
Even Donald Trump, he had the doors that were available. Now he worked, he had a vision, he did what he needed to do, but there were some doors that were open for him
already.
that helped him. And so even at 19, yes, you can be successful, but you're not doing it on your own. You really, you might be daddy's backing you up, which is nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, because daddy believes in you, and
at least I want to say to all the parents, don't say no to your kids when don't say no, you cannot do this, it's not
dream.
Yours. Let them try, help the way you can, because this is like this is what I had in my family. They know me, but it's just like every time I say I want to be an actor. Oh, it's not going to give you money. It's just like, but I did go my way, and thanks to my family, they did support me after, and but don't say no to your kids.
No,
this is like
let them dream.
It's killing.
Let them dream. I do know a lot of parents who do squash that. There's a book out. It's called Rich Man, Poor Man. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Excuse me. And it's an absolutely superb book. And it really talks about the mindsets of the rich dad and the poor dad's, the way they think, And the poor dad is the one that says, go out and get your education, go out and work for a corporation, get else together and stuff like that. And don't dream, just do this. Do as I did. Just do as I did. Right, just do as I did,
And it's...
And he was always poor. He's always, worrying about when he's going to pay, I got to pay this month, and so on. So he's always...
And then you get fired one day.
You could. Yeah, or the company
they don't need you anymore.
Or the company closes.
Yeah, and that's it.
And then exactly.
And you're nobody.
Right. You can still work and dream.
Yeah.
You can still be a waiter.
Yeah.
And still have your dream and work towards your dream.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, we sometimes have to work in between.
That's why I had all
while we're developing.
parallel businesses. Doing that and that. That's for soul. That's for money.
It's the smartest way to really to do business in that way, because you're not putting yourself in a position of homelessness.
Which is also nice for some people. We can not say that it's bad for everyone.
But it puts you in being in a homeless position. If it's temporary, it's okay, because it teaches you how to be hungry, for
something bigger.
Yeah, and it commits you, says, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, never again. That's
But yeah, it's just a lot of people work through the university. They have work a job and go to school. That's a lot of work. I mean, that's a lot of work. You're putting your brain through the work, and then you're also working. So it's but you're young. You got strength.
Stuff.
You got energy. Do it. Do it while you got strength.
It's the best time to do. To do that.
So yeah, there's but again, an investor is going to look at you, not just whether your idea is good, but who you surround yourself. Is it just you? Because an investor is going to have a hard time investing in just one person. It'd have to be a completely phenomenal thing, but he's not. He's going to look at the team. He's going to look to see who you surround yourself with, who you're making this going to work, how we're going to execute it, how you're going to maintain it, how you're going to do this. It's really all about the team.
Idea itself, it's only 50% of success.
Correct.
That's it. Without the other 50 you just described, it's impossible.
It won't work. It won't survive on its own.
Yep.
It's like a child. A new business is like a child. It's a baby. And a baby cries and whines and needs milk and needs its diaper changed.
And it's mother and father.
Yes, exactly. So, it takes a team to raise a child, and it takes for the child to be successful and grow up. And then as the child becomes more independent, it can eat on itself, stuff like that, and then eventually it starts supplying for itself, and it starts doing it. That's your business. That's your entrepreneurial idea. That's your creative idea is a child, and it needs help. It needs food, it needs its diaper changed, and it needs nourishment. And you bring that nourishment in through a team, not just you. And that's how that company will be successful. And that's what an investor is going to look at. So as an entrepreneur, and like I said, you've become an entrepreneur, and through the school of hard knocks, you've learned the hard way, but still you went through it and you did it. And you've come to this level of your life now that makes you valuable, so that companies like the one we're creating is going to take a look at you and say, hey, I need you in this area. Okay, I need DJs. I need live music. I need bands. Those bands have to learn country. Now, the Ukrainian talent, amazing. Their cover bands here are just killer. They slay the audience.
That's true, guys.
Yeah, they slay it. And so I know they can pick it up. I know they can do the country. And, so I'm going to bring some real country talent here that I'm going to bring from America. I'm going to bring some DJs that have that real talent. And we're going to train our Ukrainian DJs to pick up this, because it's not just, turning the table. It's not just going, eat her. It's nothing to do with it. It's very
not in Western saloons, for sure.
Western saloon is very interactive. The DJ is interacting with the audience, and he's getting the people up there on the dance floor. And the dance floors are huge in country western. They're not just little spaces you can just kind of sit there and bebop back and forth. And these are because country dance is a constant flow, counterclockwise, constantly turning. So all of your moves and everything are on the move. While you're dancing, it's like this, and so the floor has to be big. And of course, you don't want just 5 people on the floor if you're a band or a DJ. So you get them involved. Yeah, exactly.
That's just horrible.
Everybody's sitting, but nobody's dancing.
You just want to die at that point.
But that's the DJ and the band's fault.
Yeah,
they have to know how to get the crowd in on the floor, because the floor is where the magic happens.
Or someone puts them to the wrong public, to the wrong crowd. That's also another mistake.
But the good ones know how to make it happen and make it work and get it together and to get the.
After 20 years being the host for different kind of events, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's like when you have 80 different people from this to that, and you need to have a contact with all of them. That's where you understand that you need to learn every day, every time.
The atmosphere,
to
feel the atmosphere. You're not going to play the same music every night.
Understand the psychology of people, seeing, feeling the moments, how they feel right now.
What's the crowd going to do? Is the crowd, some days, the crowd just seems to be melancholy.
Yeah.
There's they just want to eat their food and stay on their phones, and you can't get their head up, Some days are going to be like that, when the whole crowd is like that, But something's going to spark it and grab their attention, and then you got them.
That's why they're coming to the place.
Yes.
To switch.
to switch off their
from
old.
From outside, from everything. Yeah.
So it's going to be like Disneyland.
Yeah, yeah, Western Disney.
Yeah, it's going to be
Disneyland.
Western Disneyland. That's exactly what we're going to create here and stuff like that. So
Are you going to say the saying we have?
maybe I should say Country Western Disneyland.
No, the other saying we have. Go.
Go through the west to get to the rest. Yes.
Yeah, to get to the rest. So,
Yeah. So, but anyway, thank you for coming.
Thank you
Bogdan.
for inviting. Always open.
No, I love bringing Ukrainian talent here and talking to them. For our investors, I know this, you're looking at Ukraine, you're looking at different opportunities and things to put your money in. And, Andesite Blue, which you see at the bottom left corner of the screen, we are an investment company. We sell bonds, and then we invest that money here in Ukraine. But it's important that we also take care of that money, your investment, and so we want to make sure that those are involved in the right projects. Now, we do not do startups, so the Country Western Saloon is not ready yet for the bond investments. This is just something once it starts creating a revenue, then it becomes ideal for Andesite Blue. So I'm preparing it, getting it ready. But again, if anybody else listening who has ideas and who just burning inside, of your idea and what you want to do and you've been dreaming about and you lose sleep over and things, I hope that you really, if anything you can take out of this is don't do it alone. You don't need to do it alone. Let your dream grow and let it grow with the right people, so they will give you the support that you need, and you can bring in, whether it's the finances, you can bring in the management, you can bring in the skill, the talent, whatever you need, whatever is necessary to make your idea come into reality. For Ukraine, this is really, we call it the breadbasket of Europe, but it's really becoming the breadbasket of the world. It's going to be a phenomenal place. It's already on the map. Everybody knows about Ukraine. Everybody knows what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of very sad incidences and criminal acts that are happening against us with Russia, but it's put us in the limelight. The last thing that happened this last week, was a soldier that was a captured soldier that his last words were "Slava Ukraina," and then they just shot him, rode him to the ground. The Russians did, and but that's the glory in the heart of Ukraine. We hold on to that, Slava Ukraina.
Heroim Slava.
Yeah, it's the glory of Ukraine and the glory of our heroes, and he is our hero, and he is the heart of Ukraine. So Ukraine is ready. Kyiv is really, commerce is working, and there's already developments. The high rises are still going up. People are working. There's new businesses that are opening right now. So there's just a lot of opportunity in Kyiv right now in business. And for Ukrainians, there's a lot of opportunity for you to get started. So thank you for joining us this evening. I hope you enjoyed our program and got something from the knowledge. I thank Bogdan for coming and sharing his heart and his story. That's actually a very good story, though. I like that. We failing in the beginning and then succeeding, through the hard, through the teachings of what we go through. So anyway, have a good evening, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.